Good afternoon, world. This is Awesome Live, and we are here with another awesome person with her story. But this time, this is really in particular for people who always have this craving for gata or coconut cream, coconut milk, and we will hear the Bible of coconut cooking from this Bicolana. But she's not just a coconut queen. There are so many more stories about Tess. So let's call on Tess Tuazon, currently someone from residing in Houston, but we will know how she got here and what she did, and of course, all about her native Naga in Bicol. Hi, Tess.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, and hi to all the viewers.
Okay. So, Tess, before we get to Houston, in your travel, what were you doing in Manila then? Before
Well,
you even, we will talk about your childhood later when we go into the cooking. But before you moved to Houston, what was happening to your story?
I graduated elementary in Manila and moved back to Naga for high school at Colegio de Santa Isabel until college, and after that, I moved back to Manila and started working.
Where?
And after that, to Houston. No,
Mm-hmm.
actually to the States, in San
Mm-hmm.
Francisco, Connecticut, Atlanta, and now I'm a native Houstonian.
Okay. Where were you working in Manila?
I worked for the Ministry of National Defense back in the day, from 79 to 83. It was one of those sequestered companies during that administration, and so I was working with the military, the Philippine Constabulary, the Philippine Navy. Um,
Hi,
as
Mr. Greg.
Hi, we've got some power.
Okay, there you go. All right. It there's some power problems even in Houston.
Yeah,
I
Can you?
just got plugged in.
Okay,
just
yes.
to put
So
my
it's military defense, the defense department. So you were handling mortars, guns,
no,
machine
it's
guns.
just one of them. But the MND during martial law put up a company called Ziza Distributors,
Okay.
and all all vendors who want to deal with the military had to go through us. We were the screening company to screen out fly by nights, and that's how I mingled with the generals and all the leaders and during those times.
So you were
Wonderful.
a lady dealing with the macho guys.
Oh yeah.
Can you
They, they
handle can you
they
handle a gun?
I did. I had to.
Really?
We went target shooting every weekend. We we did all that. All my buddies were were in the military, and it was an interesting time because I worked with those from the Philippine Constabulary, from the Philippine Navy, especially the CBs, the
Mm-hmm.
engineers of
Mm-hmm.
Philippine Navy, and most of them are retired now. And I've got to meet and talk to some of them, and
Mm-hmm. I hope they get to watch the replay of this.
we reminisce about the times, our younger days, and
Mhm.
it's then you realize, man, I'm old.
Nobody's old, forever 50. Anyway, okay, so from there, Manila, Houston, or the United States?
No, I also went to school in Bacolod,
Oh,
Consolation College,
mm-hmm.
for 1 year because I grew up with the Daughters of Charity. Those are the nuns from Colegio de Santa Isabel, which is now a university. And my mother superior was assigned in Bacolod, so I went with her. And we were assigned there for a year, and then we went back to Naga City, and after college, that's when I moved to back to Manila and I started working.
Okay. And then the United States.
And then the United States.
How? Where did you move to?
I my first hometown was San Francisco.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
was in the 80s. So that was during the Joe Montana football era. And so I'm a Joe Montana fan.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's how I learned about football.
Okay. And then why did you heed the calling of Houston?
No, after that, I moved to Connecticut
Mm-hmm.
and worked there with Time Warner from Connecticut. Moved to Atlanta for a year. I lived in Connecticut for about 5 years and 1 year in Atlanta, and then moved to Houston. It's, you go where the job is.
So all this time you were picking up culinary notions and recipes and menus from all the states you moved into and
I've
bringing them
always been interested being in the kitchen,
uh-huh.
because early on, I remember I was in second grade when during vacations my sister would send me to the market with a list, and I already knew where to pick up certain items from the suki,
Mm-hmm.
and pick up the fish, the vegetables, the meat, and whatever was on the list. And I would go home and help her prepare lunch. And she
Where
also,
where was this? What palenque was this in Naga?
oh, this is in Naga City, in the centro.
Okay.
It's the public market. So
All
so that was how I learned marketing.
Okay, I'm trying to visualize you going through a wet market in Naga. Like, I'd like to know what were if you remember, the fish that were there or the ingredients, lead, because we will later on be leading to your Bicol cuisine.
Well, we already my sister's brother-in-law was a fishmonger, so I knew where to get the fish.
What
And
fish?
so I went to specific places just to pick up those items. So I don't have to really go around much. I just go to specific places to pick up this fresh food items and to take home.
Okay, let me zoom into, let's say, because I know you will show us Bicol Express. So like when you were young, you already knew how to choose the right gabi. Is
Oh
it dry
yeah,
gabi,
I
wet
do.
gabi, leaves or stalk or
Oh
whatever?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My grandmother would show me what a fresh fish looks like by looking at the eyes and the gills,
Mm-mm.
and fresh meat and fresh vegetables.
What
You know,
was the first dish you ever cooked by yourself?
actually by myself, I don't remember now, but here in the States, the first dish I cooked was adobo.
Okay, what kind?
It's pork adobo, but it was I was still learning how to do it by myself. So I would call my cook friends and say, "Hey, how am I doing it the right way? Can you guide me?" So say you're doing okay. So keep doing it.
Okay.
Well, when you're here, you really have to learn how to do things on your own. This is where I learned how to do laundry. This is where I learned how to be really independent.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
no mates around. Back,
Yep.
yep.
You said it. Okay, so before we go into the real your culinary DNA. What other activities do you do in here in Houston? I know
Well,
you just did the fiesta.
yes, I've been a board member. I've been a member, and I was a past chairman of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Greater Houston region.
Okay.
And we are very active in the community. And we just finished um, last Sunday. We had the Fiesta Cosa, Texas. Our special guest was Ai de las Alas, the comedy queen. And it was a fun time with the Filipino community, uh, getting together again after 2 years of the pandemic, with nothing, with no entertainment from from us.
Yeah.
So they really welcome Fiesta Cosa, Texas, with I giving him a real good time with her comedy bit,
Yeah.
other other entertainers, and also we held the Miss Fiesta Cosa, Texas, a little beauty pageant, or local beauty queens, and raffle drawings, and a lot of food and non-food vendors. And the fiesta becomes a reunion of friends who
Yes.
live locally but don't see each other much, because Houston is a huge place.
Mm-hmm.
Harris County is the biggest county here in Texas. And and they're also busy from work, so that weekend fiesta is fun to people watch.
I think that was the revenge.
Yeah, and catch up with friends.
Yeah. Okay, so we did see a lot of Filipino dishes there, but I think I would remember nothing will beat the ginatan dishes. And I learned a lot. Audience, I learned so much on the proper way of cooking gata from this lady. So let's all go into the culinary bit right now. Tess, describe to us your culinary DNA. What
Well,
is it?
I just learned, I learned cooking from my mother, from my grandmother, and my sister, our oldest sister, and friends. And also, um, you know, by traveling and learning from real chefs. I'm just a wannabe chef. I'm not a real chef. I'm a home cook, but I home
Home
cook
chef.
meals for real chefs. That's what I do.
Wow. Like who?
I won't mention names because I might offend others, but we have a lot of uh, award-winning local chefs here in Houston who are very successful,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy and proud to say I'm friends with them.
Okay.
I feed them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've invited them to the house, and you've been to my kitchen, so you know we've
It's,
held some fundraisers together.
it's a Le Creuset kitchen, folks. And
No,
she
no,
can whip up a rib eye steak for 10 people in just like that.
as long as all the ingredients are available,
Yeah.
it's easy to come up with something that you already know how to do.
Okay. But back to your culinary DNA. All right. So your parents are both from Bicol. So you are pure coconut cream.
I
You're
am
not coconut milk. You're
pure.
coconut cream.
We are pure Bicolanos, and my grandma taught me how to extract coconut
Oh.
cream from the. Well, I know how to break a coconut, courtesy
Okay.
of my grandma, of course, who
How do
has.
you break a coconut? Some people don't know how to break a coconut. They just crack it with a hammer and it just
No, you
explodes.
have to. There's a certain spot. There are eyes, and you have to place your fingers right there and hold it.
Okay.
one the eye over there and the other end over there, and you have to have a itak or machete or a
Okay.
big bolo
Uh-huh.
and hit it in the middle,
All right.
and it
So
just must,
it has three, right? It has three eyes.
yeah. So
In
you
fact,
just
I learned the word coco is for monkey because when it's brown and it has three eyes, like it one has a nose, it looks like a monkey. So you hold the monkey, the coconut, by the three holes, and then you snap click it with the
yeah,
machete.
with force, and it just splits open.
What do you do with the water, sayang?
There's you have a bowl underneath to catch the water,
All right.
and then
Okay.
you drink that.
Yeah. Or I was told you can use that already to extract the gata.
Uh, Usually it's you have to boil a little water
Mm-hmm.
and then pour it over the grated coconut meat.
Before
And
we get to the grating, how do you choose a good coconut? This is for those who are still in the Philippines who there's an abundance of coconut. But
well,
how do you choose? By weight or what?
no, when
Like
you buy
the
it, you kind of hold it and make sure it weighs and it's not hollow.
uh-huh.
It still has juice in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
has to have a certain weight, so you know it's not dried up.
So there's some that are dark brown and some that are light brown. What is there a difference?
It just uh, when they're brown, they're ready. That's when
Mm-hmm.
they're matured. When they're still light, and that's the buko. That's the young coconut, which
Okay.
is used for not used for coconut milk. That's for eating.
Okay. Okay. So now we're grating it. Okay. How do you? What's the proper way or the Bicol way to extract? Is it the what everybody
Well, we
does?
have the kudkuran or kayuran, and
Mm-hmm.
do it yourself. That's a real job of. You have to be patient, or else you're gonna get your fingers
Yes.
spread.
Yeah.
And then that's when after that you pour a little hot water, and that's when you squeeze it out tightly and get the first extraction, and that's the coconut cream.
Uh-huh. Kakanggata.
Kakanggata.
What do
You
you
set.
call kakanggata in Bicol?
Shit, I forget now, but let me think. It's
Okay.
liputok.
Liputok. Yes, you
Liputok
remember
na
you were.
coconut. Liputok na guta. And then you pour more water and extract more. That's the second extraction, and that's what you use to initially cook the whatever you're cooking, and then you add the kakangata later.
The
But
liputok na gata. Okay,
yes,
but you were saying, let's say, like here, or for those of the audience who are abroad and have no access to fresh, to coconut, to nyog. Um, between coconut cream or coconut milk, what is the best choice? Next best choice, or maybe even a brand.
here I most it's unfortunate that there is no Filipino brand of coconut milk or
I
cream,
think there is, but
but
maybe not available here. Yeah.
it's not available here in Houston, if there
Uh-huh.
is any.
Yeah.
But those from Thailand, those what I use, and I use coconut cream,
Not milk.
not milk, because if I want the coconut milk, I just water it down, and that's the coconut milk. That's
Practical. Yeah. Okay. I'm taking notes. Okay. Practical. Cream. All right. Okay. And then proceed to the use. How now do we? Okay. Let's go later. Maybe we can go into the photos already because we're already halfway. Let me see. Maybe probably the best way to
oh,
there.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the finished product of a giant walk of Bicol Express. But
Uh-huh.
Do we have pictures of the
Yes, we do. Yeah, it just
ingredients?
wasn't in order. But okay, I'm just wondering, is this how much food you prepare in a day?
No,
Grabe ka.
when I prepare it, I make a big batch because I would rather do it one time because you have to deal with slicing and dicing the peppers.
Okay.
Might as well do a big batch, freeze
Mm-hmm.
them, or give them away as gifts to all my friends.
Uh-huh.
And so I have to make a big batch.
Okay. So let me see now. We go to the next one. We'll go back to that. All right. I think this is where you start, Tess.
That's where I start. I usually start with 10 pounds of jalapenos,
Mm-hmm.
10 pounds of ground pork,
Okay.
and then about 10 cans of coconut cream,
Okay.
and then about, I think I think four jars of uh, shrimp paste or bagoong.
Is this the pink one? It's not yet cooked or gisado na?
I usually use the guisado na, so I don't have
Ah,
to cook it prior.
okay. All right. Yeah. And then I see garlic there.
Oh yeah, lots of garlic, lots of onions, and
Okay.
of course you see the peppers. And
Yeah.
next,
All right.
you have a
Next
next picture.
next photo, please.
There it
Okay.
is, all minced, and
Wow.
that's all minced by hand.
Wow. Why
All
not my
uniformly.
food processor?
No, I don't use it because the food processor would crush it and make it so soupy. So
Okay.
I want to maintain the integrity of the peppers. You still want to see the peppers. I don't want it crushed and unrecognizable,
Okay. So this is minced like small dice.
like diced.
Wow. Ah, diced. Okay. And
Yep.
then you mix it with you cook the pork ahead and you mix it with your diced peppers.
Hmm.
Tama ba?
Yep.
What about the garlic and the onions? I'm not
That's
seeing
right. You
anything.
saute it with, you put them all together.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next, please. Anton is the one doing the photos for us. Okay. What is
That's the
this one?
process. It's all mixed together and
Sauteed.
sauteed, still cooking, and later on you pour with the Bicol Express. I cook these first, and then that's when we after this is just integrated, just mixed together, and that's when I we pour the coconut cream.
Uh-huh. But you
And
were
let
telling me before, be sure to boil your coconut cream before you add it.
that's with the when you're doing it with some vegetables. But in this process, what I
Mhm.
do is I put the coconut milk and let it simmer for hours. You let
Okay.
it simmer for hours. So it's
Coconut cream, you mean, not milk, you said.
coconut cream
Okay. And
and
then,
let it simmer for hours until the coconut milk is actually it gets oily.
uh-huh.
The oil comes out.
Yeah. How long would that be?
Oh, I make it sit for about 6 hours,
Wow.
simmering. It's a whole day.
Oh my gosh.
What I usually do is one day of mincing, and the next day or at night, I start the simmering,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's half cooked, I continue it the next day and let it simmer the whole day.
Wow, Tess, you really are. Well, for one thing, you insist on slicing it by hand. That's not a joke.
It's all I like. To me, it's therapeutic. I like mincing and slicing,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it the old-fashioned way.
Okay. Next, please, Anton. Can we have the next? Okay. Oh, iba naman to.
Iba naman to. This is the. Oh, I think he showed the finished product in the first.
Yeah, yeah. But I
First
didn't see the pouring of the gata.
yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay,
that.
anyway, so you, as you said, you pour it and you simmer it for about 6 hours.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
if maybe if the audience will just split the recipe, then they can also take in the proportionate hours of cooking it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or you can use. In my case, I use ground pork. Some people like you know bigger slices of pork, but
Okay.
this way it's more of a side dish for me, not a main dish.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's more it's easier to bottle for one
Oh
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the distribution of the fat and the meat is even, so I
Yes.
think that's more practical. All right. I think there are other photos that are coming up. So this one is again gata, right?
Gata with the crabs, and that's my sister Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn. Okay. So how is this cooked? Is it just in gata
Just
again?
okay. So we saute garlic, onions, and ginger and peppers,
Mm-hmm.
and then coconut milk, coconut cream. Let it boil, and then you throw in your proteins.
Okay.
This time it's the crabs and
Yeah.
season it, and it's this is making me hungry.
Me too. What's the best seasoning? Is it just as you said, bagoong? Is it for every time you cook with coconut cream or milk, uh, instead of salt? Does that mean you have to use bagoong?
Not all the time. You can use patis, you can use plain salt. It's to your liking. But of course, with Bicol Express, it has to have bagoong.
Yeah, but like for crabs and let's say some they want for pork belly.
Oh yeah,
What's better? Kasi hindi ba binagoong ang baboy?
yes.
Also, yeah. So that would be like
It
definitely.
really goes well with the baboy, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Next, please. Next photo. All right. On another matter, yes. Who is this
Remember
with?
this? We had a
Yes.
this was a fundraising dinner here
Mm-hmm.
at my house
Mm-hmm.
where we raised funds to send to Bicol to fund. This was during the pandemic,
Yes.
and we sent the money to a parish where they were giving pajaks to some of their local parishioners so they can have a livelihood.
What is pajak?
Um, it's a bike with
Tricycle.
a sidecar.
Yeah, tricycle, di ba? Tricycle with ano?
It's pajak meaning to
Ah, bicycle.
pedal.
Okay. Okay. All right. So these are people from, as you said, yung Philippine Chamber of
Most
Commerce.
are from the Philippine Chamber of Commerce. Some are just friends and the that we know around. And boy, I haven't seen this picture in a while. And look at you and Kuya Bobby.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we were happy to be there. All right, next photo, please. Well, that is a. I think Tess always has something pretty to to put in a corner of her kitchen when people, because her kitchen is actually a show kitchen, so people will just gather around and watch her cook like it was a live show. Okay, next, please.
Cooking in this house is always a live show.
All right, here we
Ooh,
go. We gotta discuss lying. Okay,
Laing. Yes.
can you take? Well, to be very frank, laing looks so ugly. I've never seen a guapo laing, and if ever I did, it didn't taste good. To
No.
me, laing would always be ugly sarap.
Ugly green, pero ang sarap.
Yes. So okay, can you take us through your laing? By the way, Tess is also like a how do you call that? Yung cartographer and that yung ano yung
So I do a little calligraphy.
calligraphy. Yeah, that is right.
So I
Okay.
just to identify what they're eating, I had to write something on a piece of paper, and
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Can you take us through your laing, the Bicol way,
the
the
Bicol way.
proper way? All
That
right.
lime actually is imported from Bicol. The leaves, the dried leaves
Huh?
came from Bicol. My sister brought those.
What?
Yes, that's how
Why?
I make my lime.
So there's no gabi leaves in any part of the world, in many parts of the world.
Oh, they're available, but I get my supply from Bicol, so
Why
it's
is it fresh?
no, it has to be dried. You cannot bring
Okay.
in fresh vegetables. So this is dried gabi leaves. So her luggage would look like she has a stash of marijuana in her luggage because of the dried leaves. But of course, they're, they're lying. And how we do it is just saute the aromatics, which are onions, garlic, ginger, peppers. Saute them till they're fragrant, and then you add your coconut cream,
Mm-hmm.
let it boil
Uh-huh.
on medium
Yeah.
fire till it boils, and then
Until when? Until when do you want? When do you? How what? How can you tell in the boiling process of coconut?
you also have to watch it because you have to keep stirring it,
Uh huh.
or else it can curdle. So you have to keep stirring it, and once it's rapidly boiling, add the laing or any vegetable you need to
Mm-hmm.
cook, or whatever is available. You add
Okay.
your veggies. This in this particular instance, your laing,
Mm-hmm.
and let it, since that is dried laing, it takes a long time for it to absorb the the mm, the coconut cream. So you have to let it simmer,
I'm just
and you have to.
curious. The laing, the gabi leaves that your sister brought in her suitcase came from Naga. Is there a special variety that's only endemic to Naga or what?
No, it's just that we like the gabi coming from Bicol because I think she has the suki that supplies her with the leaves, and
Mm-hmm.
because you also have to watch out. Some of those vendors in Manila will say laing, but it's not pure laing, but they add some unidentifiable vegetables in it. They're not reliable.
Yeah.
So you might.
I know some who put in some kangkong. I heard about that. But
So we know the sources from Bicol. They've already deveined the after it's been dried. They remove the veins, and it's really just the ripped
yeah,
leaves
leaves.
off the
Okay.
the veins, and
So,
it's
so
tender.
so you're saying the veins are not included, the stalks are not included in your laing.
In my laing, I don't include stalks and the veins. So it's
Social.
pure leaves. It's really a labor of love when
Uh-huh.
I do my laing in the Bicol Express,
Okay.
because my husband complains he can't come to the kitchen when I'm slicing and dicing all those jalapenos because it it hurts his eyes.
So you're wearing goggles.
Actually, no, I think I've immunity to it. I'm so used to it. But I've learned my lesson. I have to wear double gloves when preparing when
Yeah.
mincing the
So
peppers.
so Bicol Express is spicy, and so is laing.
You can make it spicy as you want, but because I give it out as a gift as gifts to my friends, I keep it neutral. I put a little bit, but then I would put fresh peppers on top from my garden, the
Yeah.
red peppers,
Yes.
so that if they want to spice it up, they can crush a fresh one.
Yeah. I'll tell you a secret, Tess. This is how I eat, huh? I have Bicol Express, let's say 1/2 cup, and I put in maybe 1/4 cup of laing, or the other way around. I have 1/2 cup of laing and then Bicol Express, and I mix it all together,
Yeah,
and then
that's
I eat it with rice.
yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
One way to do it, or you can, mix it as you eat.
Uh-huh. All right. So and then as you said, you have to first boil and when it's rapidly boiling, that's the only time you do it. Because sometimes but some people they add in the gata after the sautéed vegetables and
No,
then they pour the coconut cream. Is there a difference? I'm going into the very details now because I really
that's
want
this
to
this
know.
is the way I know. We
Uh-huh.
have that's the thing that I learned was cook the coconut cream
Mhm.
before you add the vegetables.
Okay. All right. That's true. Okay. Next.
Maybe the other way would work too, but that's how we do it.
Yeah, I think it's more logical because you have to take out some of the enzymes of the coconut cream that makes it spoil easily, right? Okay. Next, please, Anton. Anton is our techie now. Oh wow, sexy
Some of our
lady.
friends are in Houston.
Keep calm and
Calm, stay
stay
Filipino strong.
Filipino strong. All right.
Those are our giveaway T-shirts.
Uh huh. So this is an active group of yours.
Oh
They
yeah, that's
nasa
uh, as the lead as ES and Ate Margarita. They are sisters, and
Yes.
then that's you and Tita Winnie.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Okay. All
What
right.
did we do?
Next.
I forgot
Uh,
where this.
it was in the fundraising.
Oh, that was
Fundraising.
during the fundraising. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh my lord.
Um. Yeah. Next,
We gotta
please.
do it again.
Oh, so that's it. Okay. So, um, all right. So when I was eating at your place, there's this
Di,
dinal,
Dinailan. It's
dinailan. Is
in
that the
Bicol.
Bicol term? You know, we Tagalogs have not heard of that.
No, they have their burro. The Bicolanos have Dinailan. It's
Okay.
actually um, fermented shrimps, I think, or fish,
Wow.
and it comes in a paste, and it's rolled in a. It's in a paste. It's a
Yeah.
paste.
It has
It's
a very funky smell.
very. Oh yes, and then I cooked it one time. Good thing I did it outside, and what I did was while it was simmering in the stove in the patio, I I walked up and down the street to, and I could smell that thing. It was
Ay, nako. That's the problem with being Filipinos being abroad and cooking like bagoong, you know.
your neighbors will wonder
Yeah. What is
what
she
what
killing? What
what
did she kill?
what rotten thing is going on.
If they only knew. Oh, one more dish. Okay. So that's really with gata. Okay. People Tagalogs don't normally cook dinuguan with gata. But I know that you cook dinuguan with gata.
We cook
Can you take
dinuguan
me
with
through the
gata.
process?
We cook adobo with gata. Anything we put.
Okay, can you take me through the process of the dinuguan with gata? I don't know how to do that.
You haven't you? I thought you've been
I
around.
know, but I was watching, but I don't know how. And so many of us don't. So please tell us.
This you, of course, you do the aromatics first, but
Hindi, ano muna, ano, is it pork belly, right? With the skin on. That's what I saw.
oh yeah, we do pork belly.
Not bituka or anything.
Oh no no no, not in my kitchen. I don't eat that.
Uh-huh.
Just plain pork belly and sliced and diced.
Oh,
And
and then pre-boiled, or do you
yes,
put the
you
stock?
pre-boil it first, put it aside, and then you prepare the. We locally we buy those containers of pork blood from the Oriental market,
Yes.
and so what we do is, we you gotta liquefy it first before you kind of mash it and
Okay.
you know activate the curdled blood.
Mash it with your hands.
Oh yeah, yeah, just
Uh-huh.
your hands, or you can use a. That's what we do.
All
But
right.
after you've done your aromatics and what we do is we we use a strainer before we add the blood, so there's nothing. There are no solids. Our dinuguan has no solid blood in it. Just and then after that, you put a little vinegar to it, and then the gata, and then you have to keep mixing it.
So
You
the
have
gata is
to
being boiled separately. I saw you boiling the gata separately before you added it.
Yep.
Yes.
No, the pork is already cooked separately, so
Yeah.
it's tender.
Okay.
And then once you have to keep stirring that mixture of blood and all the aromatics,
Mm-hmm.
and later on you add the coconut milk. Not too much,
Okay.
not too much, and then once you've seen it. I saw you with a
I
vat full
know,
of
but
blood.
I've never cooked dinuguan.
I know, but you came here when you were playing with a container of blood, and I think that's when you helped out pour the blood in it in the wok,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
you've
what
seen
vinegar is good to
red
you?
from red
Too black.
to black, but it another labor of love. You cannot leave the kitchen. You have to keep stirring it until it comes to that color.
All right. Okay. Now, after the chocolate soup, let me just ask you, because we only have 5 minutes to go. So you got married to Greg and he's German. How do you now mix in your
Yes, he's an
multi?
American of German descent.
Okay, so how do you what's your mixed culinary menu like? did you do you
Well,
did you have to adjust, or did he have to
before I met
adjust?
Greg, he has already lived in Singapore for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And he has extensive travels in Asia. Has been to the Philippines several times, been to Japan hundreds of times, to China, Vietnam,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and so he has been Korea. So he was more exposed to Asian cuisine more than I was.
Okay. So
You know?
he has that Asian palate already
Oh
developed.
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there was no problem with the Filipino dishes that we prepare.
Can I ask how you met?
One time during the early years, he asked me, "Can you prepare? Can you prepare itlog na maalat?" I said, "What? What?" Itlog na maalat. Oh, okay. I have not. I haven't had itlog na maalat, the salted egg, for years. So, dang, I'm like, ooh, let's do it. So, once in a while for breakfast or for brunch, you would have itlog na maalat and then some fried fish and garlic fried rice and coffee. And
Tinuruan mo na ba siya kumain ng kamay?
he knows how to do that, but
So he eats laing and Bicol Express.
oh yeah, there's another funny story about the Bicol Express. He didn't. He saw it. It was the gathering, and I brought the Bicol Express, and he started eating it like a main dish, and he goes, "Jesus, Mary Joseph, this is hot." And later on, he learned that it's a condiment. You take a little bit of it along with the lying or any other proteins and veggies. So he learned his lesson.
Okay. You know, Tess, for me, I never really got so interested in ginataan until I met you and I learned the proper way. And that's what I teach now when I do seafood gata or ano. But I still have to cook dinuguan and ginataang kamote and all that, which I'm not good at yet.
Well, if you had come here last night, we had ginatan bilo-bilo with, of course, gata and langka and bilo-bilo and
Yeah, right.
ragi and kamote. Yeah, we
Okay.
had mahjong last night, so that was our snack.
By the way, audience, this girl plays mahjong. So, like a
My house
pro.
is Mahjong Central.
Okay, before we end, maybe you can, because you have kept the heritage of your mother and your older sister's cooking the Bicol way. Maybe you could give the audience a few words about why you think they should really preserve the way of cooking, no matter where they are moved to, like the United States or even our OFWs who listen to us, uh, knowing especially that you do it by hand.
Well,
That's
you
part
have to
of the heritage. You
be
try.
proud. Be proud of your heritage. I'm a proud Bicolana, and and we have that trademark. Bicolanos, gata, and sili. Peppers and gata. They go together. Learn how to do it properly, and share the food that you cook with your friends.
Can you say that in Bicol again? I
Sa
really
mga
want to.
sa
I
mga
mean,
sa mga kasimanwa kong mga Bicolano, i, i, oh my lord, I am dumbfounded. Um, i, ang pagluto nin guta, asin kansili, iyan ang liputok na pigaapod tang liputok na pagkamaot. Iyan ang trademark ng Bicolanos. So, spread the cuisine. Itukdo nindo sa iba kung paano ang pagluto nin may guta. Because that's the way to share our culinary heritage.
wherever they are.
Wherever they are, especially now it's September, on the 17th, the third Saturday of September is the feast of our Lady of Peñafrancia, the patroness of Bicolandia. It's
Mm-hmm.
celebrated here in Houston as well.
Hmm.
And so, for all the Bicolanos out there, Viva la Virgen.
Okay. So I think when I first met you, that phrase liputok sa ano?
No,
You said
liputok.
liputok sa
Liputok na pagkamuot. That is
liputok na pagkamuot. You said something about love or passion in that.
pagkamuot means love. So,
Okay. And liputok means
the kakanggata, it's thick.
okay. All right, Tess. I think your Bicolanos had a refreshing course because even if they pare ko gusto kong kumain ngayon ng Bicol Express at kanin.
Halika muna dito. I have some in the freezer.
Ay, nako, with kanin. Salbahe ka, Tess. So anyway, thank you very much and for inspiring us again. Not only teaching us the step-by-step way and the proper way of gata, which is kasi to prevent panis, di ba? Mabilis
To
mapanis
prevent,
yung gata.
yes,
But
yes,
also to show us how you still preserve the traditional way of cooking it,
of cooking.
wherever you are. I
I'm a
know.
traditionalist when it comes to cooking.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot from my chef friends who are showing me techniques, and I go to food tasting, and boy, my husband and I, Greg and I are foodies, so we go eat around town.
Okay. All right. Say goodbye to them, to the audience in Bicol as well.
Salamat po sa paghinanyog, as in sa for watching the show, and until next time.
Okay.
Maray na banggi po, maray na aldaw, Diyos mabalos.
Diyos
Viva la
mabalo.
Virgen! Depende
Okay.
na siya.
All right. We just shared with you, Tess just shared with you her awesome story and a lot of creamy tips on gata. Thank you very much, Tess. We are so happy that now we can cook. I can cook my dinuguan. God bless you.
Thank you, and you're always welcome to my kitchen, just like everybody else.
Sige ka, lagot ka. We will ano you, we'll invade you. All right. Okay.
Doors open for you.
Okay.